Ever since I first saw Infinity War back in April, I have always wanted to make a video addressing my thoughts on the character of Thanos. Many fans left theaters believing that Thanos was one of the biggest villains in the MCU to date. However, I disagree with this notion that he is a villain. Now don't get me wrong, Thanos is still a bad person, but I believe that there is more to the character than just being entirely evil. Prior to the arrival of Thanos, we have only seen a few villains who wanted to use the Infinity Stones for evil purposes. For instance, Malekith wanted to just use one of the stones to plunge the universe into eternal darkness. But unlike Malekith, Thanos wanted to use the stones to bring balance to the entire universe. His desire to bring balance to the universe comes from his homeworld of Titan falling apart due to its resources being depleted by the overpopulated planet. In an effort to prevent this crisis, he proposed having half of the population killed off in a desperate act to save the planet. This is the same act that he would eventually use on Gamora's homeworld, as half of the civilization was slaughtered. Now obviously, this way of dealing with the situation is terrible no matter what the reasoning is, but I believe that this is why Thanos began searching for the Infinity Stones. With all the stones, he would be able to fulfill his plan in a more merciful manner than brutally gunning down half of everyone in the universe. He believes that this is something that must happen in order to prevent worlds like Earth from becoming the next Titan. Of course, all the heroes of Earth disagree with Thanos' plan, as they try to stop him multiple times throughout the film. When I first saw the film, I was very surprised to see Thanos not trying to kill all the Avengers. Even though he could have easily killed all of them, he just pushes them aside and continues his quest to fill the gauntlet. He respects the fact that they are fighting for what they believe is right. However, some heroes aren't spared by Thanos. One of these heroes being his biggest threat in the film, Tony Stark. Stark was the only hero in the film to make Thanos bleed and put up a great fight against the Titan. But besides Stark, there are heroes that fell at Thanos' hands that I cannot defend, like Heimdall and Vision. I can justify Loki's death as it was payback for failing to give Thanos the Tesseract, something that Loki was threatened with back in the first Avengers film. But outside of these four characters, there is one that plays an important role in Thanos' journey in Infinity War. That character being Gamora. Now let me start by saying that yes, Thanos is not the best father to have. From having his children spar against each other to torturing them, he is a terrible parent. However, he always had a soft spot for Gamora. Out of all of his children, she was his favorite and probably one of the more innocent ones. Whether they were with Thanos or not, I believe most of his adopted children would have turned out to be evil people regardless. Anyway, Gamora was someone that he took under his wing to become one of the deadliest women in the galaxy. When we see them reunite in Infinity War, Thanos tried to be kind to her, offering her food and even sitting on the steps after she let out her hatred over his chair. Gamora believed that Thanos only cared for himself, but this is proven wrong when they reach Vormir, where she realizes the truth. Thanos loved her this entire time. He cries as he watches his little one fall to her death to secure the Soul Stone for the gauntlet. At the price of saving the universe, Thanos lost everything that mattered to him, his Gamora. Towards the end of the film, Thanos fulfills his goal, and instead of destroying or ruling over the remaining part of the universe, he decides to settle down on a planet and watch the sunrise. Thanos was never motivated by a selfish desire for power, but a selfless desire to prevent his past from repeating itself. Sure, he is not heroic like all of the Marvel heroes, but he's not as evil as many villains in the MCU. Who knows, maybe Thanos will show off his true villainy when the next Avengers movie comes out next year. But as of now, I believe that Thanos is neither a villain or a hero, but a tragic anti-hero just trying to do the right thing.